Hello and welcome to the webinar, everyone. Thank you for being here. Special guest, Toby. Yo, thanks for being here, bro. That's kind of
All good,
rhymes.
brother.
For those who don't know Toby and I met through social media and also through another friend. And this guy is by far one of the most amazing biohackers that I've ever met. He's a fitness competitor. He has his own juice health business, as well as does the Wim Hof method in Adelaide, as well as, sharing tips and tricks online with his own podcast and online presence. You're making waves, dude. You're making waves, and you've got some big things happening. And I just love how real you are, how raw you are, and you're just sharing it like unapologetically. And people are like, "What the hell are you doing?" But at the same time, you're getting amazing results. So I think at the end of the day, it's about getting amazing results, and that's what you're doing. So would love to hear about your story, how you got into this, and let's kick it off.
Right, thanks, Brack. Well, at the start of it all, man, I was a real unhealthy guy, man, when I was growing up. Like, I'll start with, the bad. So I had, very few friends. I was always sick, always had hay fever, and my skin was covered in, real bad acne, and I had, no self-confidence, anxiety, man, depression. Fucking, I didn't get a single photo for, 4 years. And so that was a real dark time in my life. And then, so I had a lot of time alone for myself at that time. So I could really go into the deep depths and figure out what I want to do and go deep into personal development, because I had nothing to lose. I had nothing else. So I was all I had was myself. And so it started with the gym at the start. I was just going to the gym every day at lunchtime because I had nothing else to do, and just lifting weights, spending my time researching all about that. And so I got really into the gym, and I just gained heaps of muscles. And I was really unhealthy at the time as well. So I was just drinking, pounding the dairy, eating all the processed food, cans of tuna, you know it. And then that didn't really help with my self-confidence, but it got me kind of base. And then I would say probably within the last few years, I started really taking on the more holistic approach to life, as opposed to just wanting to be big so no one would fuck with me and no one would give me a hard time. I started to actually want to go into life and see every single aspect. So you get the health aspect, and then building a community and actually forming real friendships. So probably in the last 3 years is when the first time I actually had real friends. Before, all my friends were just people you would hang around, you would drink with, and you would just hang out to not be lonely. And I was like, well, man, what am I doing in my life if I'm not doing any good in this life? Because I was in a real bad mindset as well. I was constantly just wanting to better myself, one up myself, and at the expense of other people, because I felt that life gave me a shit hand at the start. Even though looking back now, it was a real blessing, because I've been there where a lot of people that I'm helping at the moment, I've been in their shoes, and a lot of times worse. People that haven't been there don't really understand that what it's like when you have nothing at all. And it's just you're waking up, you can't make eye contact with anyone, you're unhealthy, you look shit, you're weak. And yeah, I just don't want people to actually feel like that. And when I was there, I felt trapped because there was no answers. I looked online, and it's the doctors, I went to see the doctors, they gave me Roaccutane, which is a fucking poison. And at my very weakest, they took advantage of me, and they tried to push a poison which practically it's a poison dose of vitamin A, and it fucks up your liver, will destroy your skin even more, it'll make you get older. And that was the first start of that, where I looked into it and I was like, holy shit, man, what the doctors are saying, some of them are good, but a lot of them, they don't know shit. They'll just push whatever they've been told to push on you. And it's pretty expensive as well. We're paying quite a lot for this skin medication, and all it did was just give me more depression. And so kind of coming out of that journey, I had a lot of anger towards the system. So my first few years, I was just angry, and I was just trying to show up the education system. I was all about just fuck the system, man. Fuck the doctors, fuck the pharmaceutical industry, fuck the food industry, all that stuff, because they take advantage of us not doing our own research, and they think that if they get people with white coats to put this stuff out, then we'll all listen. And so now I've moved away from the angry part, and I'm not angry anymore. That's just how it is. And I was I'm not fighting against the 5G, the vaccines. That's not my battle to fight. My battle here is to just live my life by example, and make the things that they say is not normal, or just experience everything. So plant medicines, got the Healy, doing fasting, just things that challenges the status quo that I believe is right, or at least give it a try. And then if it works, then I'll share it. If it doesn't work, then I'll admit that I'm wrong. An example of admitting that I'm wrong was a while ago when I was doing the vegan diet. And most vegans, bro, will jump on the diet and it becomes a bit of a cult. They'll tell everyone, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you eating meat? And I was the same. For almost a year, I was just telling everyone, red meat's the poison of everything. You can't be doing dairy. You can't be doing this stuff. But I had to like kind of swallow my pride, and I admitted, look, I was wrong there. The vegan diet does have its place and it is ethical. But yeah, now I've admitted that and I don't eat it. I'm not a vegan anymore. I eat a whole foods diet. So yeah, that's about where I am at the moment. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I love your story. And it's so, yeah, you're willing to say, look, this isn't working for me. And, you know, this is what I learned from it anyway. And you move forward to trying something that works for you. And I think that's so important in today's day and age because there's so much information, you know, trying it on, seeing it, and then having that honesty, that integrity to be like, all right, I'm going to move on. I think that's really important because people can get stuck in the identity and the cult of things. You know, veganism is just one of them. I'd love to know, let's talk about biohacking. Why do you love biohacking so much? And what are your top few biohacking tools? I know the Healy, we chat about that as well. But like, how did this biohacking thing start for you? Because you've got one of the biggest groups on Facebook for biohacking Australia. And so you're really leading the march here. So how did you get into it and why do you love it so much?
Yeah, so I got into it, I guess, originally from bodybuilding. I was like always looking for that extra edge to gain more muscle. And I would call that biohacking, even though it was at the expense of other parts of your life. So it was like I was raising my muscles, raising my testosterone, but at the sacrifice of my hormone levels, my skin health, my gut health and all that stuff. And then, so from there, I started looking into, well, what are ways that I can actually increase performance without like decreasing other parts of my life. And a funny one was, I used to like to drink alcohol. So I was like, how can I drink alcohol without getting like all the shit testosterone lowering effects and like, you know, the poison basically. And I was like looking on forums and I discovered you take NAC before, you can stack it with a bit of phenibut, you can stack it with some antacids, and you can actually drink like much less and get much more drunk and stay much more drunk for longer and have no hangover. So that was like kind of the start as well.
That is amazing. Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. I would only need to drink like fucking barely any, man. Like probably 4 or 5 drinks and I could be drunk the entire night. That was back when I used to drink. I don't really drink anymore. It's not really about that. And yeah, now, so fast forward a few years, about 2 years ago, I started listening to a lot of the podcasts like Ben Greenfield, Dave Asprey. And I was like, fuck, dude, there are these things you can do, real small little changes you can tweak, and you can just like increase your energy levels, like hack your sleep, and you can just walk around like fucking invincible, man, feeling awesome every single day just from doing like a few practices. So like I always started with like the lowest hanging fruit first. It was just like getting outdoors, like doing some fasting, getting sunshine, earthing, drinking clean water and all that stuff. And eventually you just start like building on, man, and it becomes a game. You connect with other people as well that's on the journey, and you're all just like sharing ideas, bouncing it off. So you're doing like saunas, microdosing, red light therapy. You got the spiky mats, you got the old Healy, which you crank in, which is actually, the Healy community is really awesome as well, man. Absolutely love the people connected with that.
Epic people. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, at the moment, it's just fun for me. It's like, it's my passion. I just love like learning the new things, trying it out myself. People think you're fucking weird when you sleep with mouth tape on your mouth when you're sleeping. But it's like, dude, if it's getting me more deep sleep scores on my Oura Ring, then I'll go for it.
That's so interesting, man. It is these little tweaks. It's kind of like in life, there's a control panel. And when you figure out all these different tweaks, then we can become more in control of how we're feeling every single day. And I really think it puts the power back in our own hands. You know, whether you call it biohacking or whether you just call it feeling good every day, you know, being knowledgeable on health, this stuff really works. So in terms of the Oura Ring, tell us a bit about that and how's that shifted your sleep? Because I know I had one actually for a little while, but yeah, has that helped your sleep?
Yeah, so I got the Oura Ring about a year ago. I was listening to it for a long time leading up to it, and I started to bite the bullet. It was quite expensive and got it. And then, yeah, it gives you a way to just track it and kind of know. I wouldn't say it's actually helped my sleep at all, but I would say it's given me a way to quantify what actually works. So I find that like if I take lion's mane before bed, then I'll get a bit more REM sleep. If I eat too close to bed, then my deep sleep drops a lot. If I have a cold shower before bed, I'll fall asleep much faster. And it just gives you feedback on what's actually working. So like, eventually the goal is to just know my body so well where I can just throw this thing in the bin and not need it anymore. But at the moment, there's so many things that I'm experimenting, and I'm just trying to find out like what works. And yeah.
And so what are some more of those little hacks around sleep and energy that you found for morning and evening routine? Like what's your morning routine look like at the moment? Obviously everyone's different, but what are the top, few hacks in the morning and at night that you found really useful?
Yeah, I would say my favorite hack in the morning is just wake up. If the sun's out, I will get the sun for sure. Get naked in the sun, man, for as long as I can. And if the sun's not out, I got the red light panel in my room. So I'll just jump in front of that and do some gratitude journaling. So I've got the 5-minute journal, and I'll just write down like my affirmations, what I'm grateful for, and then 3 things I can do to make the day good. And then I'll do some form of movement if I can. So this morning I went to the park because it's an awesome day, and I was just doing my soul tapping. I did a bit of breathing, breath of fire, the Tony Robbins breathing, and a bit of Wim Hof. And then I was doing some yoga and just some like bioenergetics, like openers. So it's always good to get moving. And then something I've been getting around recently, I used to do like real strict fasting, but now I've kind of eased off from the fasting a bit, and I'm like loving my nootropic shakes in the morning, or like nootropic coffees. And that's just mad, dude. I'll just put in like rhodiola, shilajit, like creatine, got like all the mushrooms. So like all the tinctures of mushrooms plus the powders as well. And just make like some super like hot drink and just sit out here in the sun and just drink that, man. And like that's one of my favorite things I'm doing recently.
How good's that? Oh, those mushrooms are amazing, hey? And combining them together. And so what's your opinion on coffee? Because I know I personally can't do coffee. It gives me anxiety. What's your opinion on that? And obviously you're not just doing straight coffee, you're probably adding some things into it, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think regular coffee is pretty shit, man. Full of mycotoxins, really acidic. And a lot of places won't use good water for it as well. So you're getting a nice cup of old fluoride and chlorine with your coffee, which isn't too good. But when I don't drink coffee every day, but when I do drink it, I drink my own coffee, like, because we make a coffee called supercharged coffee here. And that's a cold brew with, we use the alkaline water, so 9.5 pH water. And we're using organic coffee beans. We infuse it with L-theanine, ginkgo biloba, alpha GPC, taurine, lion's mane, and cordyceps. And it's all alkaline as well and like cold brewed. And the L-theanine is neuroprotective, same as the lion's mane. So all the damaging effects you're going to get from the caffeine, I'm not going to get. So if I'm drinking my supercharged coffee, then I rate it. But any other coffee, I'm not going to touch. I'll sit in the cafe with just nothing.
Isn't it dehydrating though? Isn't it too acidic for the body? If everyone's eating quite a toxic acidic diet, throwing more acid on there and potentially dehydrating the body, isn't that doing more damage?
Yeah, so regular coffees are super acidic, man. And this coffee, because since I use alkaline water to brew it, it's actually got a pH that's around 9.5. And also because it's organic, it's not with the mycotoxins, and it's also super rich with antioxidants as well. So I kind of figure like maybe there'll be a little bit of a downside. Like caffeine probably isn't the healthiest thing to have all the time, but when it's used right, it's like the benefits are up here, and like you got tiny little and I also mix it with ghee as well when I blend it, and I get a lot of joy from that. Like it's just piping hot beverage, man. It's creamy from the ghee, and you just know you're going to be set for the day, and just like you're practically rolling, man, all day. It's like it's drugs without taking drugs.
Nice. Yeah, I get it. And it's being smart about it. It's not just doing normal coffee. You're soaking it in 9.5 water, and then you're putting all this epic stuff into it. That sounds awesome. See, that's something I could do. And that's what I mean. And that's what we mean by biohacking, taking what's already kind of working, or maybe, and then adding things or changing things to optimize how they feel in the body, rather than just doing what everyone does. And so I'd love to know how switch gears to frequency, because I know that the sun is healing, grounding. we're talking about, what you spoke about, not fighting the fight for 5G and kind of getting into that, having healthy frequencies around you. In terms of your Healy, what have you noticed? How's it helped you optimize?
Yeah, so I've had the Healy, I think, for about 3 or 4 months now, man. And the reason why I decided to get it is I spoke to you, spoke to Brock, did my own research, and I spoke to one of my mates, Chris. He hasn't even gotten one yet because he wants one, but he's still waiting for some cash to come in. And yeah, the reason why I got it is I figured, like, we have nature. We got the beach, we got the grounding, and we got the sun and all that stuff, and that will balance us out. But then in this day and age, we're just bombarded with, we got Wi-Fi frequencies going constantly. We've got satellites all around the planet Earth. 5G's coming in. Cell phones always in our pocket. So I'm like, nature is good against nature, but we got artificial stuff hitting us. And I was thinking, sometimes when you got this artificial stuff constantly bombarding you, you need something that is also artificial to counter that artificialness. It's like you're fighting fire with fire. And yeah, so I looked into Healy and I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense because we are practically bodies of water, and frequency has been shown to affect water really, really well. And I was like, if I could be indoors where I'm not grounded, but I could be plugged into this and actually putting something beneficial through my body, which hopefully counteracts the Wi-Fi in my house or whatever's going on, then like, it's easy. Like I'll just plug it in. I'll be eating dinner, playing cards or whatever. And it's just something real easy you can do every day. It takes like an hour only. And I haven't experimented fully with it, but I found that some of the programs, like, I use one for my lower back. I've used the energy one a few times, and the energy one's pretty good actually. If you do the energy one, stay like grounded and do some breath work, you come out that like crazy. But yeah, that's my experience with it so far. And I actually like it a lot. It's fun.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to try that as well. Some breath work, some grounding, and which frequency? The energy frequency.
Yeah, energy from the gold cycle.
Nice. And what type of breathing are you doing during that process?
I was doing, generally I do Wim Hof breathing.
Yep.
So I find that one gives me like the biggest rush. Wim Hof, you do the retention, you do some push-ups as well, and it's just awesome, man.
Oh, yeah. So good. So good. Yeah, would love to see, because I've got another friend who has the Aura Ring now. So I've lent him a Healy. He's doing the Healy every night. So we're going to check in to see if it's actually helped his sleep at all. But he's really off with his sleep. And I think, what you mentioned, not eating a big meal at night, I think the blue light at nighttime, are you actually affects sleep? And actually switching gears to blue light, are you protecting yourself from blue light at nighttime as well?
Yeah, dude, I'm like a blue light Nazi, man. I've got these like Cyclops wraparound glasses that whenever I remember, I'm wearing it. Yep. And then it's really funny because I've been going to my parents' house quite a bit because like it's nice to have a family dinner together and play some cards and chill out. And their house is bombarded with LED blue lights everywhere. They got Wi-Fi going, and I'm like, every time I go in their house, it's fine like during the day, but when it's like 9 p.m. and I'm on my way home, I'm like walking out the house, like with my hood on, with my glasses on, like trying to cover every part of my body. But yeah, blue light, man, especially in the eyes. And I got the blue light blocking glasses. I got these also like sunglasses that I wear as well. And of course, my phone, I don't know if you can see it, but completely red, man. So that's on, but it's like fully red.
What do you use for that?
The iPhone actually has like a setting where you can go into settings, turn the color tint completely red, and then make a shortcut where you press it 3 times and it turns it red, 3 times and it turns it back normal.
Oh, what?
So it's way better than the shitty nighttime mode they have there.
That's awesome. So go into settings, change the color tinting, and do a macro shortcut. Yeah,
fully red, man. It's good.
So good. Because there are those moments where I can't even see my phone. And you're just like, what is going on here? And then you got to switch the brightness. But it's a game changer for my sleep. Have you noticed a shift? I know, like I literally say to my friends, I'm like, guys, I'm not going to sleep. You're not going to sleep for weeks with these lights on. Like, it's like drugs, it's like so stimulating for me now. My body's like so sensitive to it. And even driving, I've got the daytime one. So I'm driving. It's important for driving. I think it's important to be safe, but that's cool, man. Any other little hacks around light or around phone or technology that you use?
Well, I would say with light, dude, it's really, really important to get sunlight like first thing in the morning, because that will set your circadian rhythm. And it sounds like a bit whack, but if you get sunshine in the morning, then you're going to produce more melatonin at night. Because our body's like in this cycle. And it's like, if you wake up and get straight outside, you're signaling to your body it's daytime. So you're going to start producing all those like awake hormones, serotonin, all that good stuff. And then at night, it's going to be ready to wind down to melatonin. So like, yeah, sunshine's first thing in the morning. I've also been getting into sunset sun gazing, which I don't encourage everyone to try it unless they've done the research, because I don't want people to go blind. But for the last 20 minutes of sunset, it's really, really good. You kind of stare directly at the sun. That's what I've been doing for the last 20 minutes, just staring directly at the sun, man. And it's got this certain frequency where it actually repairs, like, it just repairs your eyes. You feel awesome. And I don't know, there's something about it, man. It's magical. And I do want to do the sunrise, but I don't wake up that early. So.
It's that red light, dude. It feels so good. You know, first couple of days are a bit tricky to get used to it, but if you commit, I'm addicted to it. And I now wake up naturally at like 6 o'clock, you know, I think I woke up at 10 past 6. So the sun rises at 6:30. So I get up, bit of a meditation, go to the beach, and then doing our morning routine in the sun, drinking water, eating food, doing what we're usually doing indoors. If we can get outdoors, I think it's an absolute game changer. And majority of people are stuck indoors, you know, now more than ever, but also in offices. So it's just, as you said, so whack. It's so
yeah,
whack.
dude. I just can't imagine it, man. Like my parents, I feel so sorry for them because they got their phones right next to their bed, charging next to their head. And they've got these, I don't know, power docking stations where you can put multiple power points in.
Yep.
And it's got this flashing white light on all of them to show that it's on. And they've got their sleep apnea machine. And they're constantly there on their phones right before bed sending text messages. And it's not blue light blocking as well. It's the full blast blue light. And that they sleep with the sleep apnea machines. And I'm like, dude, if you just like taped your mouth shut when you slept and didn't look at your phone and maybe fucking just did some really little things, you wouldn't need this huge machine that's just pumping like fake oxygen into you pretty much. Feel bad for them, but they don't listen. I've tried to I try to tell people, but it's like, it's not my battle to tell people and like convince them. It's like, if they want to learn how to do something, they can come to me and I can like help them out. But I used to try to push my beliefs on everyone, and like, it just ends up putting them off. So I just sit back and I just like live my life, and I try to let my life be a reflection. I'm like, look, yeah, I look pretty healthy. Of course, there's more improvement I can make, but I'm trying. And then if people want to learn, they can learn from me.
That's it. You're open-minded. You're going to give it a go. You have the honesty with yourself, as you mentioned. And so for anyone out there who's starting their health journey or is looking at, you know, optimizing some of their lifestyle, maybe they're exposed to blue light at nighttime, you know, they're kind of, they don't have any routine, and they're like, oh, you know, easy for these guys to say, you know, they've been doing it, or whatever excuses people like to make up. We've put in the work, but for those out there who's just starting their journey, what advice do you have for these guys and girls?
Yeah. So if you guys are just starting your journey, don't get caught up in all the stuff that you have to do. So like, forget about the sauna, forget about the red light, forget about the Healy, all that stuff. Just go straight into the real basics, because chances are if you try to take on everything, you're not going to take on anything at all. You're just going to do it all and be like, oh, it's too much, I'm too stressed, and you're going to stop. Just start with the real basics. Like, don't look at your phone 2 hours before bed. Don't look at your phone 2 hours in the morning either. And then you start, just go for a walk every evening after your dinner. Don't eat dinner before bed. And then you want to do some breath work. Try to get out in the sun as much as possible. Take your shoes off and like literally just dig your feet into the ground and like feel it. Do cold showers as well. Like cold showers, actually, that's a game changer as well. One, physically for sure, skin health as well, and mentally, man. Holy shit, man. When you can like make friends with the cold shower, that's one of the hardest things. Like when I first started doing this about 2.5 years ago, I was terrified of the cold shower, and I would like have to like work my way up. Now I can just casually it's winter now here, and I can just casually just turn on the thing, walk in and just chill out in the cold shower for like 3-4 minutes. And I do it first thing in the morning, after my workout, if I need a boost anytime during the day, and then before bed as well. And it's just awesome, man. Like that's something everyone can do straight away, because if you can get your cold shower habit in, then you can incorporate anything else, because cold showers are so hard. But once you got that down pat, then everything else becomes easy. Yeah.
It builds that resilience, you know, and I think we're so comfortable in today's day and age where you know, comfy shoes and comfy bed and comfy food and comfy chairs. And we're just like so comfy that anything challenging is like, oh, can't do that, you know? But doing that cold shower thing puts like the comfort zone on the edge and you're like, whoa, like this is intense. And as you said, like building that relationship with that helps translate into being more resilient and resourceful in other areas. So yeah, I love the cold showers. My goal is to have cold showers all winter.
Yeah.
And you know, you just have to shower a bit earlier in the day because it's a bit warmer. But yeah, that's a good tip, man. Anything else? Any final comments? I know you got to run in a minute, but any final comments for anyone out there and they're kind of, yeah, they're stuck, or maybe they've been on their journey a little while and they're looking to tweak, and maybe they're like judging themselves or judging others, because I know the mind is a massive component here. Yeah, how does someone really look at their mindset and help kind of shift that if they feel that they're blocking themselves?
Well, something I found is it doesn't matter how healthy you are or what you're doing. You need to have something that you're working towards. So like a real goal at the end. I like to have one physical goal, one spiritual goal, and a mental goal as well. So I can have all three. Because there was a stage where I was super healthy and I was ticking all the boxes, but I was just drifting through life. Like I had no intention with what I was doing. I was just going through the motions. So every day was just practically just staying healthy and hitting the weights or whatever. So it's like, have that passion and really think about it and visualize like what you want to achieve in this life. For me, I want to build a community of people where people never have to feel like I used to do, like how I used to feel in the past ever again. I want like young men and young women to know that there's a place they can go. There's people they can talk to that will welcome them with open arms, and they can actually hang out with people and not have to poison themselves. Like before, when I was really lonely, I thought that I had to drink alcohol. I thought that I had to go to clubs and try to pick up chicks in order to fit in and actually feel okay about myself. And now I'm realizing, man, I can go to the beach in the morning, do breath work with people that I love, have a cold swim, and then go eat like a healthy smoothie bowl after. And it's just as fun, if not more fun. I just want, yeah, so that's my vision. And it's about just have your vision where you want to, what like impact you want to make on the world. And then everything you do is just a stepping stone for you to get there. And it's not about focusing on the vision and trying to make it happen straight away. It's about you set that vision, you set that goal, and then every moment of your life is just magical leading up to it. And you got to like be part of that journey, enjoy everything, every single step, all the ups, all the downs. Man, I've had a lot of downs recently, huge setbacks, but it's all saying like it's part of the journey, because if I got to the end straight away, if I had perfect health, perfect everything, then it wouldn't be fun. Like the funnest thing is seeing that those small incremental improvements. It's like I do this and I feel a little bit better, and then I help this person and they feel better too. And it's just about sharing the journey with other people, connecting with everyone else along the way, and then having a fucking good time doing it as well. So yeah,
Man, that's like really grounded in real, raw, authentic advice. You know, it's not just like go out there and make it happen. It's just like, you know, this is going to take time and effort and challenges and successes, and, you know, be grateful for the process. Oh, that's gold, dude. So thank you so much. Thanks for your time, brother. And I look forward to catching up in Adelaide when the lockdown finishes and I can travel around and do a broth night. I'll come hang out with you guys, and would love you to share a broth night, man. And yeah, let's build an epic community, and yeah, keep sharing the good stuff, man.
Yeah, brother, that'd be awesome. Can't wait to hang out, man. We do some crazy stuff.
That's it. Cool. All right. Thanks for your time, man. Have a great one.
Peace out,
See
bro.
ya.